The next game, round 2 at Iron Halo, is going to be Cody Bow versus Nick Sutherland. Cody's playing Necrons, Nick is playing Orks, and they are currently deploying and setting up, and will be starting shortly. The actual round begins at 1:30. And our guest shoutcasters for this round will be Reese and Pablo from Frontline Gaming.
I can still use Dice app, right? It's GW's Dice app. Okay. Yep. Sometimes I have hundreds of attacks.
Not as an orc player, that makes no sense.
So, let's go secondary. Alright, so I'm big game hunter. Okay. And then I'm gonna mark. Do mark for death. I'm gonna mark both your 10 mana mortals. I'm gonna mark your whatever the race are or whatever. The 6-man unit. Right, race. And total mark. Is there any way to tell these different? I'll mark the gold one. Yep. So those will be my marks.
Mark for death. Oh, whoops. there we go.
And then old school is my last one.
All right. Green. It is going to be this guy right there. We got this one right here.
Interesting.
Old school. And then I believe we are going to go for butchers.
Sweet.
Reaper old school butchers build.
All right, let's roll this to determine who randomizes deployment. I got a 5.
Also a 5. 11. Should be up there.
I got a 1.
I also got a 1. Epic roll off here.
I got a 1.
2.
All right, randomize it.
I got a 5.
That's pointy Dawn of War.
Frontline assault. Oh.
Pointy Dawn of War.
And then I pick a side. I'm just gonna pick this side.
Oh, man, these sides are
Pretty even. Six. And then was it
15 up. Yep.
And then throw it down a line. And throw it down the line.
Hey everybody, great to be here.
We're great to have you.
I guess I can go ahead and change the camera view. I mean, they're already starting.
My warlord's gonna have this grot with him. My warlord Trey's gonna be a big killer boss, of course. My shock attack guns are in a Death Skulls detachment. All my boys are evil sons. My Ludas are in a Bad Moons detachment.
Okay.
I got 33 yellow grots. Those are the Bad Moon grots. I got 30 blue grots. Those are the Death Skull grots. The mech gun guy crew are painted to the color of the guns.
All right.
Alright, so I think I deploy the first drop.
Yep, you got first drop. We have to clock our deployment as well. We have to clock our deployment. Oh. Okay.
I've never not finished a game against Necrons.
No.
Alright.
What's that?
Alright, here is a unit of Bad Moon Grot, or Death Skull Grots.
Alright. 3. One plane.
The round timer has officially started.
Now, right? Can't target grots, can't draw last after grots, all that. They just die when they kill a gun.
Yep.
Put it back to me.
There you go. I got 2 down.
It's a little bit of a slow start here for the deployment part. Let's give a little shout out to everybody at the Iron Halo. Thanks for coming out. I know they can't really hear me part of it, but they watch it later. We do have Mr. Reese with us. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, I think.
That should sound better.
Orks versus Necrons. It looks like he's got quite a lot of the anti-air guns. I hope that doesn't cause too big of a problem for the poor flyers.
That is a lot of guns. And they are painted red, white, and blue.
Are those red, white, and blue orcs?
They are.
They absolutely are.
Somewhere an eagle just got its wings. All right, I finally got this Discord working correctly. Thank you for your help, guys. I guess you really cannot teach an old dog new tricks.
We got there in the end.
It's really complicated.
That's pretty cool once you got it all set up, though. Normally, I rely on Mariana to do all this stuff for me.
Well,
Dang it. What is she doing?
Oh, she's hanging out with her friends.
ATD is
No, you watch all these kids on Twitch, playing video game, and you're like, this can't be that hard, but it's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, it sure is. But table looks great. The armies look really nice.
And I can zoom in and everything too.
So, Doug, you want to catch me up to speed? Who is this? Is this a deploy? No, this is an alternating deployment mission here.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Pointy Dawn of War.
Yes.
yeah, that one.
Interesting. If the Necrons go first, that Doom Scythe super bomb is going to be absolutely devastating for all of those guns.
Yes. I think that's probably what he's kind of betting on. Like, if you think about, they're going to do the alternating deployment, the Necrons are more than likely to go get the +1. Well, actually, I don't know.
Well,
they should get the +1. The Orks can have 1 million.
Oh, I see. There's lots of Grot squads to be placed, so yeah.
And I don't know why he placed his flyers first. With the Necron list, you should always place those last.
Just so that way you can get a better position, or kind of figure out where you want to, like, what's the thought behind that?
Well, any player worth his salt, as long as he understands what they can do, his #1 mission is to kill one of those flyers before they get to drop their super nuke on you.
Yeah.
So you always want to deploy them last so that you can counter deploy your opponent's tools to deal with them, if at all possible.
I can see that for sure.
So we'll see. I mean, if the Orc player goes first, he'll very easily blow one of those up with all the smasher guns. I assume those are smasher guns?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll nuke one, no problem. But if the Necron player goes first, he is going to... It's an appropriate color scheme because it'll be just like the 4th of July for the Orcs player.
Second unit of Bad Moon rots down.
Yeah, the issue is the Doom Scythes are the squishiest thing that the Necrons have, and you definitely don't want the opponent to be able to counter deploy those.
Yeah, and with their speed, there's like no reason to deploy close to your opponent because those Luda. Well, I guess an Orc player, they can jump the Ludas and it doesn't really matter. But typically speaking, you want to deploy them last. And Pointy Dawn of War is the most restrictive deployment anyway. You have so few options in that deployment. So perhaps not a mistake, but as a rule of thumb, I would always deploy those last.
Yeah, he might be thinking of something else, though. He might be trying to bait his opponent.
True, and like we were saying, in Pointy Dawn of War, you really don't have a lot of options anyway. But I would try to stay away from those Ludas if at all possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Just hope he fails to jump, but it's a low probability, but, it's a chance.
Well, I mean, Necrons have all that psychic defense, so they should be able to handle that.
Yeah, they got the savage psychic defense. I think every army should have at least a stratagem that lets them stop psychic powers. Like, Tau should have like an anti-psyker drone, and Necron should have like some stratagem, like stop a psychic power on a 4+. It's kind of annoying when you do literally nothing in the face.
Or they have the spider.
Oh, you got me there. I take that back.
Yeah.
The spiders are not bad, actually. They're so cheap, and then they give you the little gloom. What is it? The gloom prism to give you.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I would take one just to have something.
I mean, if you think about it, in most Necron armies, you don't need Immortal Pride because you're not going to have enough Necron warriors to matter, or Immortals. So, yeah, a spider may not be a bad idea.
They make an excellent engineer as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but aren't they pretty expensive points-wise?
No, they're like 50 points.
Not bad.
And they're durable too, so yeah.
I hope everyone Necron players are listening in. They're getting some sweet tech.
Some knowledge bombs dropped directly into your brain.
And you can buy Tomb Spiders directly from Frontline Gaming.
At 20% off.
Couldn't have done it better myself, Doug.
You could also buy that sweet map they're playing on.
No, we've got a commercial for you guys too.
That one's Urban Chaos, a lovely map, one of my favorites. Actually, that's Urban Skull, excuse me.
Ah. It's
Skull,
urban and it's chaos, and I love it.
It may or may not originally have had a corn symbol on it, and GW may or may not have called us and asked us to change it.
That's fair.
Totally fair.
How many of those got out in the wild?
Not very many, so if you have one, lucky you.
Because it is awesome.
Yeah, it was a little too on the nose. But,
But I thought the conspiracy theory is you guys are now in bed with them, so everything's okay.
Yeah, we may be in bed with them, but we got kicked out of bed on that one.
Yeah. So it looks like the Necron player is trying to be cagey, but again, with the pointy arrowheads, you can't really stay as far away as you want to be.
Yeah, it's the most restrictive deployment in the game. A lot of the times you have to put everything in the middle. You just don't really have a lot of a choice.
On the other hand, and actually I guess this doesn't come across in the top view, but the L-shaped walls in the middle of the table are taller than the doom sides. So it's actually possible if you get a model's eye view that he might be out of line of sight with some of those doom sides. And that might be why he chose that side.
Well, and that
perhaps.
That just goes to show what Reese was saying. Maybe he should have put those down last. That way he could have tried to maximize his use of that L.
Yeah, indeed. I guess I can see what you're saying. From a side view, they do kind of hide behind the big L's.
Yeah, I just switched the camera view so you can see it a little bit better. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
It gives him it looks like he can get a little coverage, but the thing is with those doom sights, if you lose one, that's it. That's kaput. So you have to have all three to do their big bomb.
Yeah, it's like their equivalent of kill shot, isn't it?
Well,
It's exactly the same thing. Or the
Predators.
or no, the
sorry,
Tyranids
Vindicators.
the Tyranids have the same one, and the Vindicator, yeah.
Actually, it doesn't look like he's using them to move block either. So maybe that wasn't the best play.
It's seriously just going to come down to first turn, because if the Orc player goes first, the Looters will kill probably 2 of those doom sights, and they'll never get to do their thing. If the Necron player goes first, he is going to do some horrific damage to the Orc player, because he'll shoot it right in the middle of the guns. Each gun becomes its own unit. It's going to be painful to watch.
So what you're
Right.
saying is that if a Necron player goes first, he's almost guaranteed kill more.
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's 3d3 mortal wounds to each unit, and each one of those guns is a unit.
Yeah, that's going to hurt because they're nice and bunched up.
Yeah, and not like the Orc player has a choice, again, in this deployment. The key thing is he wants to spread his characters out, because if he clumps his characters up, that's going to be bad news.
On the other hand, it looks like the Necron player may have left an opening right there for a big squad of boys to get to jump. Or maybe not, because you still got to be 9 inches away, right?
Yeah, I think he's pretty well got a good job of walling that off.
Yeah, I can't. I'd have to go
you-
look.
He's not going to worry about the boys, I don't think. I mean, I guess if the Looters deploy and they have line of sight, you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, you to jump them, and then you
Yeah.
do more DACA, and then you double shoot them. But if he doesn't need to do that, because he already knows where the doom sights are, he can just counter deploy them. Then yeah, the boys will probably be going upfield. Does he have tank busters?
I don't see any. Let me check.
Tank busters are so good. If you're an Orc player, you should definitely be playing with one unit of those.
That's what I would do. I mean, I really think they do have a place. I know that they kind of got I feel like they got glazed over in that codex.
They're ridiculous. At the LGT, my repulsor got one-shotted by a unit of tank busters. Like it was ludicrous. They nuked it on the bottom of the turn 1. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, because that's pretty tough. Because the repulsor's toughness 8, so needing 4s to wound, he must have really hammered it in.
Yeah, and they reroll shots against tanks, and he double shot it, and it was lights out. It killed
Excellent,
it.
excellent.
Overkilled it. Yeah, it was easy. And in the vehicle heavy meta that we're moving towards, I think tank buses are going to be more and more prevalent.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Iron Hands are just going to be that in its own.
Yeah, and the lifted droppas, or not the lifted droppas, the anti-aircraft version of the big mech gun is going to be very popular too.
All right. You get +1.
Alrighty, here's the roll.
Are we getting ready for first turn?
Yes, we are.
Oh boy.
Yep.
And it's to the Necrons, I do believe.
To C's.
Ouch.
No C's.
Ouchtown population,
Oh.
that guy.
Well, everybody watching is going to get a chance to see how absolutely dirty this is.
Yes.
This is the Necron list, like that. A lot of people think Necrons are bad, but if you look at the data, Necrons have
Don't
actually
worry
been
about it.
performing very well in tournaments. And it's a variation of this list: three Doomsize, 3 Doomsday Arcs, and then your choice of Tomb Blades, Destroyers. I can see he has some Wraiths, which I like too, but it's a really good list, especially if you go first.
We're about to see that now.
Prepare thine backside, Orks, because you're about to get nuked. It's almost like it's going to be their Hiroshima, and the Necron players is delivering Little Boy. It's going to
Do
be
the air
ugly.
raid siren.
Yeah, he's going to jam him up with the Wraiths too, because in Pointy Dawn of War, you're only 18 inches apart.
It's not moving, but
So those Wraiths will get in there and just jam them up, stop their movement.
CP back anyway. So I'll keep it.
Yeah, this is really clutch for the Necrons.
He needed to go. If he didn't go first, this wouldn't have been much of a game. The Ludas would have obliterated the Doomsize.
Coming in hot.
No, I think the issue that people have with Necrons is that this is a good list, but if you're playing like a Fluff Bunny style Necron list, you want to use a bunch of warriors and immortals and everything, and they just don't work currently.
It's
Yeah,
true.
I play a foot slogging Necron list with tons of warriors and immortals, and I win like 2/3 of my games, I'd say, but it's difficult to do.
It's difficult because there's a special rule that you're paying extra points for. It's really easily negated because if you just drop that whole squad, you don't get anything.
Yeah, I use obviously you take the Fearless Warlord trait, and then you give them the 5++, etc.
Right.
But it can be challenging, especially with how lethal the game is this edition.
Right. And it's not to say that a Necron warrior has a bad stat line or anything, but it just seems like everything punches really hard, and 20 T4 bodies just doesn't hang around that long.
Yeah, it can be a challenge, but 10 Immortals with Tesla and My Will Be Done, it's pretty filthy how much damage they can do.
I
Oh,
definitely
no joke.
watched a unit of Mortals take down a Repulsor when they got the SOTEC stratagem, so their Teslas going off on 4s. It's pretty tasty.
Brutal. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Necrons can totally compete. It's just unfortunately they have like basically one build with like slight variations on it.
Yeah.
Right. Right, and the variation is whether or not you take the Tomb Blades or something else.
Yeah, it's basically like Tomb Blades or Destroyers or both.
And is there anything you can kind of hint to us? Like, say, maybe buy a bunch of Destroyers or something?
Nah. If you're a Necron player, I think you gotta pretend like you're LARPing your actual models, and you just gotta be patient. They waited billions of years, Doug, before
Yeah.
they got anything good, before they
Yeah.
even woke up.
Well,
Psychic Awakening is gonna shake the game up massively, though. So just hold on to your shorts, because
We were just talking about
the
that
next-
in the last one.
yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride. The meta is not gonna settle at all for the foreseeable future.
well,
I'm super pumped.
and that's actually true. The Space Marines just totally shake it up, and all of a sudden, Space Marines other than Iron Hands, they don't really have any durability over and above what they already had. They just hit harder. So, like, now we're back to everybody's going to be gunning for Space Marines, and then maybe some other stuff can sort of sneak through.
Totally, and ironically, Necrons are really well equipped to kill Space Marines. I always fear, like, this list right here is a real challenge for my Space Marines.
Yeah.
And things like the Doomsday Arcs, like if you're fighting against like Repulsor Executioners, they're like, sweet, you're not going to even do any damage to me, and I'm going to tear you up in return. Necrons actually have really, really good tools, like especially if you take Gauze-equipped Tomb Blades, they will obliterate Space Marines.
Right. Well, and quantum shielding is just, it's just tough
It's
to deal
amazing.
with.
Yeah, it's like the Repulsor Executioner, one of the things people are afraid of right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you do a minimum of 3 damage? Dope.
Well, actually, I normally run Knights with, Crusaders with Gatling and Thermal. And, like, the Thermal cannons are just worthless against Necrons.
Yeah, Necrons are really well equipped to fight Space Marines. Like, I think it's going to be funny that they'll be a good counter.
Well, I think you said it best, wouldn't it? If everything's kind of OP, then it's not OP anymore. Like, I think that's the way it should be.
I agree. Every army should be exciting with lots of options that feel very powerful.
That's the one thing I really like about the new Space Marines. To me, it makes it feel like everything was kind of viable, like everything got a chance, and a lot of these other units that weren't seeing the table are now back again because of their new rules.
Yeah, if just look at the LGT, for example, Space Marines did really well, and every list was different.
That's what I like to hear.
Valerie in the chat says Space Marine Necrons got obliterated by Space Marines at LVO. I don't think so. I mean, there was a 5-1 Necron player at the LVO. Space Marines. There was one 6-0 Space Marine player. That was Aaron Trowler, and he was running the triple repulsor Guilliman list, and that list was very, very strong, and it will continue to be strong with Iron Hands.
That was pre-Executioner, right?
Yeah, and that was full reroll with rerolls to wound and everything. And I don't think they played each other or anything like that.
Yeah,
That's the thing about those big tournaments. Sometimes you just won't see that matchup because it's kind of hard to tell. So you just got to go off of their scores. 5-1, that's very impressive for Necrons.
Yeah. So is he unleashing the Fury right now?
It looks like it.
On the other guy. Miss. 1-6.
Yeah, I think he's rolling to see if he hits a unit. Yeah, and they're marking which units got hit with the blast.
Looking for 5s?
Yeah, he's shooting the Tesla part first.
Dead.
Yep, so that one.
Israel 1 in the chat says Dark Angels really need love too. Yeah, they do.
Oh, I couldn't
Statistically,
agree more.
They are statistically the worst performing faction in the ITC right now. Grey Knights are no longer the whipping boy.
I was a little sad that, White Dwarf came out and, had this preview. We're talking about Dark Angels, and nah. I wasn't expecting anything massive, but at least give me a little something other than, a mission and some fluff, but...
Yeah, I mean, all things in good time.
Oh, I'm sure. Everyone's going to get theirs. That's GW the way they've been doing it, and I hope they keep going the same route because they're killing it.
Need to make 3 of them.
Yeah, the game is just on fire right now. It's the best it's ever been.
Yeah, this is definitely the golden age, and if anyone tells me differently, I'm going to slap them.
You just have to look at the growth of the tournament scene in the last 5 years. It's been explosive. Since 8th edition, it's just gone haywire.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, going back
I
to
think we got our first casualty here. The first gun has been nuked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he got
lost
one.
2 so far.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
But Dark Angels, Azrael with his 4+ invulnerable is actually really good with Primaris Marines.
Oh yeah, Azrael's good. I think Dark Angels, I don't know why they're performing so poorly. I think they have some really good tricks up their sleeve.
Maybe with some of the new Space Marine tools that they get, intercessors with auto bolt rifles or stalker bolt rifles are actually really good.
Yeah, there's literally, you could pretty much close your eyes and make a list at random out of the Space Marine Codex and do pretty well.
Just straight up everything. 2 6s for 4 more hits.
Okay.
And then there's Iron Hands.
Shooting on 5s.
Yep, they're gonna be the kings. I mean, just wait till you see Salamanders and Imperial Fist. They're extremely good too. But Iron Hands, I've been predicting it the whole time. I think they're gonna be the most prevalent Space Marine army because they're so easy to play.
Well, yeah, it feel no pain on everything and -1 damage.
1, 2, 3.
It's interesting because a lot of people are talking about taking a Tech Marine to be the bearer of the Ironstone. And I think that's an idiot idea because that guy is not hard to kill. If you have decent snipers or targeted psychic powers, that guy's dead. And if
Well,
you
like-
kill that guy, the army falls apart.
Right, like Raven Guard Eliminators are just really gross.
Oh yeah, they'll kill one unit, can kill him in one shot, like fairly easily. It's if it was me playing Iron Hands, I would take a biker captain with the Ironstone. That way he can be mobile if he needs to, and he's got 6 wounds, T5,
Yeah.
Okay.
or a Terminator, like a Cataphracti Terminator captain. That would be my other choice.
Yeah, there's just a lot of choices now, and it's actually kind of hard to make a Space Marine list.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean you have so many choices, right? Like I think the Iron Hands Air Force is going to be a real problem in the game. We'll
Yeah.
see. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think that is going to be a serious no fun zone.
What, like Storm Talons and Stormhawks?
3
Or-
Storm Talons, 3 Stormhawks, and then like
Okay, he's under attack.
a couple Dreadnoughts or Repulsors. It's so dirty. The Storm Talons hit on 2s against ground targets, rerolling 1s
Reroll
to hit,
ones.
and they have 18 AP2 shots that are 97% accurate, self-buffing.
Ugh.
So 3 of them, it's 54
Force field.
shots AP2 that are going to miss with maybe 2.
Right.
It's going to be dirty.
Yeah, and if you think about it, you can make those Dreadnoughts characters, and then you can't shoot them unless you kill all the flyers that are just right in your face. So you're going to have a
Yep.
decent fire support back there. It's just going to blow stuff away.
And the Stormhawks are like supreme killers of other things with the fly keyword.
Yeah.
So by the way, there were 2 mech guns right here, and I believe there was another one right here, and they've already been taken out.
And this is all just resolving the Doom Size, right? Like he hasn't moved on to his Doomsday Arcs yet.
It's hard to say. I need Cody to go take a look at that.
Because it's going to take forever.
Now they're doing it. See, he's measuring.
Got it. It's going to take forever to resolve this attack because he's going to hit so many units.
Yeah, come back in about half an hour.
Good thing he doesn't have a pain boy because it would take even longer. Although I bet he's wishing he did have a pain boy right now.
What's the range? 60. Oh yeah, definitely get them.
Do those things explode?
I don't think they do.
Be true distance.
Can't remember
Although
if the
they
mech
are
guns
vehicles.
do.
They are vehicles, so yeah, they probably do. They probably just pop and do 1 mortal wound.
This guy, nope. That guy, nope.
Okay.
I think that's it.
No, it's going to be filthy.
But what
No,
happens
going
if you
first
kill all the
is-
crew, then the gun just is removed and it doesn't explode? Is that
The
correct?
crew are a part of the model now. They're not
Oh,
separate.
yeah.
Yeah, all the time now. I have people ask me, do I even have to set up the crew?
A lot of people just model them onto a base with them. You should. Like, I like having a crew because they can like snake away from the vehicle to touch an objective and stuff. There's still some uses
Right.
there. There's no reason to not use them, but if you're feeling lazy, I guess you could not do it.
Procrastinators meet tomorrow.
Oh, I need to get rid of these circles. Now that I figured out this Madden thing, it's really cool.
Yes. So those Wraiths just made a charge into some grots. That's definitely going to kind of slow it up a little bit.
Well, I guess the punishment is over now from the Doom's Scythe.
Yeah,
He looks
and
like
he
he
looks
got
like
5 or
he
6.
killed 1, 2, maybe 4 of the mech guns.
Savage. That was brutal. Upside though, he's only going to get to do it once because one of those doom slices is dead. I'm surprised he didn't shoot the looters. That would have been my first target priority.
Yeah, because they can move like 40 inches, right? You could have flew him right in the center, shot all the Tesla at the Ludas, maybe try to bait out Grot shields.
I believe the doom slice can't shoot if they do their big bomb.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It looks like I still have to go this way.
So at least it's going to be a game now. Like if the Orc player would have gone first, it would have been a bloodbath.
Yes.
Right. But at the same time, the Necron player only has one objective.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is my 13-man unit. My one big unit.
Yeah, you're right. He should have jumped on the one in his. I would have moved a Doomsday Arc at least to move on to that objective in his own deployment zone. That was odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
just-
definitely didn't need the strength 10, I think. This their normal battle cannon. I think that would have done it.
Yeah, I mean he has a troop unit chilling in the ruins. He should have run one of them onto an objective.
Hold an objective, yes. And,
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I mean you always try to get if you can get a point like hold more or whatever, you always go for it. Right? There's almost never a good reason not to get the points when you can.
6 models.
Yeah, he has a unit there and in the other ruin on the other
Because at the
side.
very least, you would confuse your opponent's target priority because he's going to be shooting your Doomsday this turn. You can count on that. So it's like throw the troops out there. It's low probability they actually get shot.
I am done.
All right.
No leadership to make because I killed everyone.
Oh, it's getting loud in here.
Backing out.
Like Orcs should all.
I think NBA Jam said it best when it said it's heating up.
Oh yeah, great
The
reference.
Brits said it's hotting up.
Well, it's time for tea when it gets too hot. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take a break.
And then, at the end of the turn, I'm going to use my handy
We're going to go to the player mics here for a second.
fire on those guys since I'm in range of the objective there. That's 2 CP. And I get
104
+1
players, that's
to all the
awesome.
saves
Way to
and
go.
+1
Okay.
attack.
So they'll be at a 2-up save.
We appreciate it. Yeah, it's a great turnout.
2-up save, 4 attacks each. 2 CP.
Yep, cost me 2.
Okay.
Tie winning. I most assuredly still have Nurgle's Rod. I've been hacking up like very gross things for the past like week and a half.
Boo.
Luda's moving over.
Yeah, I haven't
okay.
been this sick in years. It's been brutal.
Get some boys in.
You can get yourself a neti pot.
No kidding, right? All right, well, here we go with the Orks.
Infantry and
Those Ludas are going to be... I would predict that if he shoots them at the Doom size, which he should, he's going to kill 2 of them at least.
I don't see why he wouldn't. Mordak hitting on, extra shots on 5s. Like, he should be able to
Ignoring the
easily
penalty
take
to
down
hit.
2.
Yeah, double shooting Ludas with Mordaka will easily kill 2 flyers, easily. Especially the Necron, the Doom size are not tough. They're very squishy.
So here's a thought. What do you think you do? Do you go ahead and shoot the Ludas first and then try to shoot them again or see what they're going to target out? Or do you maybe start with those smasher guns and try to bring something down first?
Yeah, I would shoot the smash guns first because the only targets they have are the flyers, so you might as well do that. And then if the Ludas don't need to kill one of the Doom size, they can try and take the Wraiths out because the Wraiths will blender the Ludas if they get the chance.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. You shoot the smash guns first. They should kill one of the because you only have to kill one Doom Scythe. That's it, and then you focus on the Wraiths.
He also has, I think, 3 shock attack guns.
Savage. Those things are so good.
Yeah, with double shooting.
The Relic shock attack gun is ludicrous.
I'm sure it's made plenty of people upset over the couple of months that it's been out.
It literally, like if you look at the stats, Orc players that take the Relic shock attack gun perform like 10% better. It's almost that. It's like 8-9% better than Orc lists who don't take it. It's hilarious.
I think it should always be in there. It's just such a cool model on top of just like great rules. You can't beat it.
Yeah, it's one of the most powerful shooting units in the game for sure. It's just super fluky.
Yeah, how did that get through the play testers?
I mean, orcs aren't overperforming. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, is it too good? It probably is, but it's in a faction that really needs it. So, because without that, they struggle to kill heavy vehicles.
So here's a good segue. Since you assist with the play testing, and I'm sure not everybody really knows how that works, like how or what exactly is GW's standpoint, in your opinion, on like competitive versus casual, and how much these tournaments matter versus their other feedback?
They highly value the tournaments, especially the big ones. I mean, they send their game devs to the tournaments to see how people are actually playing the game. It's one of the best sources of data and direct feedback that they can get, because they understand that there's way more casual players than competitive by a mile, but they also understand that the competitive sub community within the overall hobby kind of drives the direction that the game goes. Like the casual player will go into the FLGS or playing in his garage will tend to mimic what they see online, and that's driven by the competitive community.
And in that respect, though, you know, the important thing to remember is the casuals do outnumber the competitive players
Vastly. It's like 5-1 or something, 4-1, 5-1, something like that. There's way more of them. It might even be more than that.
Wow.
And it's always been that way, too.
Yes. Yep. The funny part is, though, is that the competitive community makes up like 80% of the online chatter about the game.
Okay, so it looks like he jumped into that ruin.
With Ludus?
No, with the shooter boys.
Interesting. I guess he's trying to take out the Immortals.
I think that's the play, and then probably shoot the Immortals and maybe charge one of the Doomsday Arts.
So did the Orc player also only hold one objective?
Well, it's still his turn, so.
It's
But
looking that way, though.
Oh, yeah,
the
you're
jump
right.
is the psychic phase.
You're right.
So, oops.
Yeah, he's got the one with the Immortals. Although, depending on how this charge goes, he might have that other one, too.
I guess charging Immortals is always a risky prospect.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially
I guess
with
he has to, and it's not. There's no guarantee you're going to make it.
If he believes he'll make it.
That's true. It's very orky. Why didn't he jump on the objective on the right hand side though? Seems like an easy play. The Grots could have probably made it with an advance.
He could have actually jumped and been out of line of sight and still on the objective.
Indeed, and then hold more guaranteed.
Oh, there's a dice app. Should I give him a yellow card, Cody?
No, I told him he could use it.
I have cards.
And he's itching to use them.
The dice app for Orcs are non-functional without that thing.
Yeah.
You roll so many dice in 8th edition. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, Bad Moon's Orcs especially, where you're triggering extra shots, re-rolling ones to trigger extra shot. You know, it's insane, and then you're rolling 100 dice.
Right. Well, even a regular Space Marine squad. I mean, with Bobby G rapid firing, you could roll those bolter shots. You could roll 80 dice for 10 Marines.
Yeah, multiple times.
Right.
So
and,
if you didn't know, he does have a 30-man Choppa Boy squad in the Teleporta. So maybe that's kind of a plan for maybe turn 2 is to drop those dudes down on an objective maybe, and he's going to go for kind of a not gain a bunch of points turn 1 strategy.
Well, he's definitely not going to get kill more this turn.
No, and he's not going to get hold more either.
Well, that's what
he's
he should have been
shooting the
going for
Immortals,
that.
and he's pulling them away from him.
Yes.
So misplay there. Actually, the Necron player, yeah, he should have jumped on another objective, 100%.
It's a bold strategy.
See how it pans out.
You know what, though? It's easy to say as the, watching from back here, but everybody knows they've been in that game where they just get kind of tunnel vision, and then you look back and go, oh, I should have done that. So
True, we all make mistakes, but as a shoutcaster, I feel like it's our job to mercilessly ridicule mistakes made by players on stream.
oh,
100%.
I mean, what's the fun if we don't, you know?
Ooh, triple ones. Next one. Two.
I'm going to go ahead and say that I guarantee I've made mistakes in game.
Missed it.
Oh, yeah, many. Ooh.
Sorry,
Sometimes the mistake is just showing up to play in the first place.
2 shots.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
So the Smasher Guns are trying to take out the Doom Scythe. Looks like he's on his way to killing one already.
Nope. Last one.
Yeah, they're not very tough.
They're really not.
These dice.
10 wounds, I think they're only T6. Really.
Yeah, and no quantum shielding.
2 hits. 1 more Daka. Nope. 2 hits.
Valerie, yes, everybody was laughing at my misplay at the London GT. Indeed, the one game I lost in the Open, I just handed it to my opponent. I screwed up my deployment so badly. And then my repulsor exploded and killed 3 characters and a Devastator squad. Pretty good.
It usually is when you make a mistake that everything piles on.
Yeah, the wheels definitely came off the bus on that one, but it happens.
Shots for them. 3. It's a dead crescent.
He rolled the big 3 shots apiece. I'm sad that he didn't kill one of those flyers with all of those mech guns.
Really? He didn't kill a single one? Wow,
No.
that's shocking.
They're down on wounds though.
He should just fire his shock attack gun at the wounded one, try and finish it off.
Yeah, that seems like the play.
And then the Ludas can light up the Wraiths, and hopefully he kills them, because otherwise the Wraiths are going to be a big problem.
Well, here's the thing: the Smasher Guns can't really shoot at anything else, you know. So he might as well shoot them all at the Doom Sides.
Yeah, it sounds like he did, and he didn't kill one, which is surprising.
Mooning you on 3s. Take 16 4-ups.
Just 16 4-ups. That's no big deal.
-1.
You got this.
Oh my God! Did
What
he
was
shoot?
that from?
The Ludas.
Oh, what's he shooting the Ludas into?
Into
the
the
inside.
crescent.
The wounded one.
Oh, questionable call.
Wow, pretty good roll. It's enough. to-
Holy cow. I wasn't
Maybe he's
kidding.
going to shoot the...
He made all
maybe
but
he's gonna shoot-
5.
Oh, yeah, the Ludas will annihilate those flyers. Like, it's not even going to be close.
Right, but he made like 12 out of those saves or something.
He made 12 out of 16 or something. It was pretty impressive.
That's a power move.
They're going
Asserting dominance.
Alright, I'm gonna pop a strap.
And these are, these are our dice, so it's not like, I mean, if we cooked them equally for everybody.
Okay. I reroll number of shots for them.
Do we regen 1 per player turn or 1 per game?
So maybe he'll shoot the second shot
game
of the
turn.
Ludas at the Wraiths.
Double check it.
He needs to do something. He can't let them, just run around him.
No, they'll kill that whole unit of Ludas in 1 round of combat
Or
fairly
they
easily.
could just wrap.
But the Orks can always de-jump. That's the
Better than 1.
That's
if they
true
can wrap
too.
if he can wrap 2 units, then he's good to go.
I
So
love
he's
seeing
reshooting the second shot of Luda's Doomsday Arc back here in the kind of the back right corner. So he definitely killed out one of the flyers. I think he's pretty much written them off at this point.
Well, once you kill one of them, they're not nearly as scary anymore. They're still good, but they're not going to just nuke you.
5.
I wonder if now you could maybe try to go character hunting, maybe pick off some of those big mechs, fly them around.
You should certainly try, because the Ludas are. If he doesn't deal with the race, the Ludas are dead next turn. Maybe he'll charge him with Garrots and hope they live, because then he can't charge the Ludas.
Mooning
We'll
you
see.
on 3s.
The Wraiths can disengage and charge.
In my face.
Is he playing that Dynasty?
No, they just have that rule
Only right. So 5.
They're awesome. I love Wraiths.
until
They're
they
a
get
little-
death hexed.
They're a little pricey, but they're really good. Yeah.
I just wish their other weapons did something at all. Like, I like the whip coils, they have their little gun, but they just don't really do anything other than the flat 2 damage. It's just too hard to pass up.
And it's their durability and their speed. They're just like the total package for a melee unit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Doomsday Orks.
I actually like the Praetorians. They're too expensive, but I've had really good success with them.
I feel like they were almost a good unit in 7th edition as well.
Yeah, it's the fact that they have the fly keyword. They're fearless. I've
Don't they have a
had really
2-up
good
save?
success. No,
I
they have a
want-
3-up.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying they have a 3-up, but they have a decent shooting attack and decent melee attack. I mean, you don't see them for a reason. They're too expensive, but they're like very close to being a good unit.
I want pariahs back, like now. That would be so good.
Yeah, it's a bummer that they got rid of them.
Strength is 8. Number of shots is 6.
Psychic Awakening.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Free reroll.
Pariahs also had an anti-psyker bubble.
Yes, they did.
They did, yeah. They were like the Calexis.
4 damage.
Speaking of Calexis's, I learned that their 18-inch bubble is pretty useless against Thousand Suns who have 24 inches to cast.
Number of shots is
You know what? Yeah, that's a pro tip if I've ever heard one. 24 inches is longer than 18.
This just in.
What the Calexis is an absolute chieftain at is holding objectives. He is the man at holding objectives.
Well, yeah, because everything that comes off the board edge that can try to like shoot at him or anything, you're like, okay, well, you're hitting on 6s. I'll charge him then. Now you're hitting on 6s. I mean, he's just a
With
tank.
a 4-up invul. Yeah,
And he ignores
he is
armor
a
saves.
supreme objective holder.
And the only way to get rid of his invuln outside of the Chaos Knight charging him is a psychic power. So, winner, winner.
Exactly.
I guess unless a Vindicare shot him, but, you know.
It's a shame that all those Space Marine players won't be able to use one if they want to keep their doctrines.
And that's one thing I actually really like about that. I know that in fluff-wise, it's like they could use assassins and things like that, but man, I just love like a straight-up Space Marine army that's all Marines. I think that's just too cool.
Cry me a river. Space Marines, if anybody complains about Space Marines, they need
Shock
to
attack
go.
gun is shooting.
Be
Shooting at
nuked,
the bottom Doomsday Arc. Or not the bottom, the tourney one.
Is that the mech boy that the big mech that did that?
Yeah, they just checked line of sight. This guy right here.
Holy cow!
Because he
If
already
the
blew up
shock
the other
attack
one.
gun, if it goes hot, it'll kill anything in the game in one shot.
Well, yeah, although like all hits are mortals or something.
2 and a 3.
It does mortal wounds and then it does D6 damage. It's insanely. The potential damage output out of it is bananas.
But it's only AP -5 though, right? I mean, you know, it's nothing.
That's real talk right there.
No, what you were saying about Space Marines is totally right. They totally don't need assassins right now.
No, they don't need any. They got every dang thing they could possibly want.
And more.
And more, yeah, and a bag of chips. Like, give me a break. Space Marines have nothing to complain about.
That was the Mordaka? Yep. Wounding on.
The only thing Space Marines can complain about right now is their supplements aren't coming out fast enough. Dang it.
Gotcha.
The rest of the community is like, that's fine. Take your time.
Yeah, I know, right? I need my Black Templars though.
But what about Chaos?
And then 2
Hey, you just got an updated codex, buddy.
Yeah, we sure did.
Well, Psychic Awakening is gonna give a lot of love. It's insane how much it's gonna change the game. Just hold on to your britches.
Oh, I'm super excited to hear that.
Well, I mean, you know, all kidding aside, my bank account says that I've been doing just fine in 8th edition. And I mean by the negative balance.
It's crazy. The Necron player went first, gave him a solid thwacking, and the counter punch, even with the reduced damage output, has still been absolutely savage.
Yeah, I mean, those mech guns must have really just, well, the mech guns didn't do much, but the shock attack gun just went off.
Well,
It can do that.
the
It
Ludas
either
have-
does nothing or it kills what it shoots.
right, the Ludas are perfect for shooting at Necron stuff, and shock attack guns are crazy.
The shock attack gun is good at shooting literally anything in the game.
Yeah, and the Necron player was not able to wrap the Gretchen with his wraiths or anything, so
Well, if he hasn't shot the wraiths yet, and the wraiths survive largely unscathed, they're gonna do a lot of work. He can touch like all the guns, or just kill the Ludas.
Oh yeah, and without the Ludas, they don't have as much to take them out. You go hot on 3 up invulnerables, and that unit will be there for a while.
So when the wraiths move, they ignore all the terrain, right? So whenever they charge, could he theoretically move those wraiths in front of the Ludas, kind of charge on that right side, and then possibly kill them out, and then consolidate around the big mech, wrapping him up?
That would be a good move. But then you always just gotta think about the jump, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if he uses the jump on a big mech, then it's not on your other squad or something.
What's the range of the jump?
It's anywhere on the table, and the power is it's 18 or 12.
Okay, so he may be able to run and advance that weird boy over there and do that.
Dyna86 in the chat. If it's popular, the supplements for Space Marines, then make sure to tell GW that you want to see it for other armies, and I'm sure that they will do it. Right? Oh, he got lucky and he made the charge, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Well, it was a bold play to assume you're going to make a 9 or 10-inch charge, but he did it.
Yeah, I don't bet on it sometimes. I just don't roll high enough.
I never bet on it, ever. You never assume you're going to make that.
I've been playing my host Raptoral, and I can't make a 7-inch charge. So yeah.
Yeah, with my White Scars, I stack the deck as much as I can. It's a 6-inch rolling 3d6, taking the 2 highest. Then you can count on it because it's over a 90% chance of success.
Speaking of White Scars, they are so good.
Yeah, they're not the most powerful Space Marine supplement, but they're so fun to play, and they're really good at killing other Space Marines.
Oh man, so a buddy of mine's been playing them, and he has all the Primaris with the assault bolters, and they're just insane how much damage they put out.
Yeah, once you hit turn 3, it's like Super Saiyan level 4, dude. It's unreal. It's the amount of damage they do in melee is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, the amount of turn 1, the Devastator Doctrine, you're just kind of like, whatever, all right, yeah, that's -1, who cares? And then turn 2 in tactical, their whole army is -1, so that's really annoying. And then turn 3, it's lights out.
Hold on, I can't let this go. Reese, you're showing your age. Super Saiyan 4 is non-canonical now.
What? I know now that don't they go like Super Saiyan God mode or something like that?
Oh
What?
yeah, they get all sorts of colors now.
Why?
Yeah, I haven't seen the newest season of DBZ, but I heard it's actually really good.
Huh.
It is really good, but it completely wipes out Dragon Ball GT.
Whatever.
They didn't really lose a whole lot.
GT wasn't the best.
No, it really wasn't.
The Cell Saga was the Frieza and Cell was the best, and then Majin Buu. Let's just pretend that never happened because that was so stupid.
Yes, please. I really love Cell Saga. Good times.
I think that was like probably the best, but the Frieza Saga was my favorite because that's the first time they go Super Saiyan, and I remember when I was a little kid, I was like jumping up and down. I was like, yeah.
Yes, I remember they were sitting there and he's just talking about everything about Krillin and all that, and then all of a sudden he just it flashes, and then And
was
who
so
didn't
awesome.
love the Ginyu Force? If you don't like the Ginyu Force, I'm sorry, we're done here.
They're great. They're such buffoons. It was awesome.
Captain Ginyu 2020.
This is starting to look really bad for the Necron player.
Yeah,
those immortals
it's
are gone.
Oh.
And now he's got hold more.
Yeah, well, I guess, he made the long charge, and then, yeah, that's bad. Well, he's still got his race, so he might be able to come back into it, but this is certainly looking bad.
If you're gonna do it, you got to go hard.
That don't matter. Prize boy.
But you always want the Necrons to win. You want that Cinderella story.
If he would have had a big unit of Tomb Blades instead of the Wraiths, he would have obliterated so many Orks on the first turn.
All right. Was that
The double Tesla Tomb Blades are, the amount of damage they can do is mind-boggling.
Well,
Do they
he
have
also-
the infantry keyword, or are they a jet bike?
The bike.
their bikes?
Okay, I was saying you couldn't.
But they're static -1 to hit. They have fly.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking if you could do My Will Be Done, but that's the destroyers that are somehow infantry.
Yeah, no, it's strange, but the Tomb Blades, like, they don't need any help. It's so hard to kill the whole unit because the amount of wounds.
Yeah, -1 to hit
And then,
with 2 wounds.
yeah, like I've taken a unit down to 2, and then the next turn they're back up to like 12. You're just like, yay.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. That's a horrible feeling. That's a unit that the Will Be Back works for.
Yep.
What do we got here?
Looks like the Orc player's
So-
wrapping up his turn.
Yeah, we just did the
they're done.
score. So after round 1, Cody, our Necron player, has a total of 5 points. Nick, the Orc player, has 8. Cody was able to get kill more, and hold. Nick was able to get kill, hold, and hold more. Cody was able to get an old school point and 1 butcher's bill. And Nick was able to get 3 big game hunter points, 1 marked for death, and 1 old school point.
Old school is always an interesting choice. I feel like it's a bit of a trap. Like, it's hard to get all 4 points in old school.
Especially,
be hard.
if you have a hard time like getting something into your opponent's deployment zone, especially
Or
with
killing
this.
the Warlord.
Oh yeah, that's
I mean, against the Necron army, his Warlord is not going to be exposed in most games. But it's funny, it was the most popular mission the first season we used the new missions because it was familiar, and now it's most assuredly not.
what would you say would be the most one? Like engineers?
Recon is still the most popular mission.
Okay.
He can fly? Yep, he has fly. I didn't know that. That's
Mark for Death is really popular as well.
Yeah, I haven't really played with that one a whole lot. I just started
I don't
kind of using
take it that much
engineers.
Engineers is a great mission. Although when you misplay it and your engineers get killed early, you're just like, oh, oops.
Yeah, it's embarrassing when you have both engineer units and then you go, oh, they're dead. Well, that's 4 points I just can't get.
Yeah, never take it against Tau. Never take it against armies with lots of targeted smites or artillery, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
The primary objective TV says I think old school should be a tertiary mission for everyone. I strongly disagree because I never liked those missions in the first place. Slay the Warlord specifically is
a full map.
so much easier to get on some armies than others. It's wildly uneven, like dramatically uneven.
Grab the Razorback.
Also, that kind of brings back like the feel bads from like the,
Crypt joke over here.
Okay.
He's gonna heal this guy.
Yeah, some armies can deny you a kill on the first turn super duper easily. It's forcing, like, there's a reason why we moved away from it in the first place. It's just they're not even in the slightest, right? Like trying to get first blood on some or a first strike on some armies is incredibly difficult. It's
also
literally impossible against some armies. Like a full null deploy Space Marine army is just like, you'll never get this point. Ha ha ha.
That and tertiary points, I mean, like, ITC in itself has, like, your main points and then your secondaries. Like, adding a whole nother level to get more points, I don't know, seems a little too much.
I mean, I get it. Like a lot of tournaments, to the primary objective TV, to his point or her point, a lot of tournaments actually do that, and it's because it's just familiar territory for players. And from that perspective, it totally makes sense.
Looks good to me.
So it does look like the Wraiths are going to move over and try to attack at these Ludas. Let's see how that works out.
Yeah, if they get lucky with their Overwatch, which they totally can, it could be bad, but math, averages say the Wraiths blender the Ludas, and then the big Shooter Boy unit, those Immortals, if they have Tesla, they should kill that whole unit easily. And if not, you've got the 2 Doomsday Arcs in the back that will finish him off, and then the Doom Scythe, he should go sniping. It looks like there's a couple characters
Yep.
with their ding ding in the breeze, so he should fly over and snipe them.
I think that's exactly what he should do as well. Looks like he's setting up for it.
What's up, Justin Kipple? How you doing, buddy? T-Lam Prosser in the chat says Nid players take engineers on Ripper Swarms. Yeah, 100% great choice.
I don't know why they want to shoot so often.
Right. Well, the fact that they can deep strike and stay off the table is just icing on the cake.
Oh, that is a good idea. That's smart.
Yeah, their Rippers are such a good unit.
I would rather take 12 Carnifex.
Carnifexes are great, and you know it's my buddy Will at the LGT went 4-1 with pure nids, and he beat 2 Eldar flyer armies. He beat the pants off them, and he took he had like 12 zoanthropes.
Zoanthropes are really good.
They are extremely good at killing flyers. They're like, you're -3 to hit, that's cute, smite.
Oh, reroll ones too.
And when they have over 3 in the unit, they do it's like 2d3 or 3d3 on the smite.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We have a local guy that does that all the time, and it's.
So, question: if you have 12 Carnifexes, which one's the distraction?
All of them. In the chat, they're asking what turn it is. This is the top of turn 2.
Yes, sir.
The Necron player is going to hit him back very hard on this turn, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, this isn't a foregone conclusion at all.
No, that big unit of Immortals should annihilate that unit of boys. And then the looters should be dead too, and then the Orc player is going to start running low on bodies. So we might have been a little preemptive there saying it looked bad for the Necrons. I always forget that one unit of Necrons, it doesn't look like they have much on the table, but one unit, a big unit, can hit so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like that other unit of Immortals is in the ruins. Might be waiting for the other Orcs to show up.
Yeah, maybe they're zoning out, trying to block the jump.
I think so, because you still got that big Choppa unit to come in. So I figured what you might do is you could shoot like a cheeky staff of light at those Orcs, get a wound off, and then Sotek the Immortals and just blow them away.
Yeah, I mean, they should annihilate that unit of boy. Like, it shouldn't even be remotely close. All those Tesla shots with exploding 5s and 6s or 4s, 5s and 6s is going to be savage.
It'll be disgusting. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I love the big unit of Immortals. They shoot so well.
The other nice thing is... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if he takes out the Ludus too, that big unit of Immortals, like, there's nothing on the board that's going to finish him off unless the Relic Shock Attack end goes absolutely ham.
Yeah. He's going to have to shoot at it.
If he has a Cryptek, they're going to have an Invul save too, so... Here's the rest of the dice from the Immortals.
He's got to roll that 3 more times.
Yeah, it's so many shots. So is he still resolving that unit, or are they done?
Looks like he just spent some command points. Let's see what he's trying to... Yes, he's just about to shoot the Immortals.
Oh, he was just shooting the Doomsday Arcs?
Yeah.
They're very, very dead.
So those Immortals did advance, so they will only be exploding on 5s and 6s. I know you guys were all worried.
And then what he does with the Wraiths is going to be really important. Is that a shock attack gun back there by the Ludus?
That's 2 shock attack guns. There's one on the building and one on the ground.
So you charge the Ludus, you don't declare the shock attack gun as a target of your charge, and then you wrap that boy up and you touch the other one.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't see the other guy behind the building at first. I thought he could maybe consolidate up to the guy on top, but yeah, it's going to be pretty good if he rolls a decent charge.
Where's the weird boy?
I'm trying to circle it. That's where they're at.
I do believe he is over there by all the mech guns. He's the guy holding the stick up in the air.
I mean, if you can kill him, that's huge.
There's one, and that's where the guy on the ground is, and then the guy on the building is right there. I tried to circle him.
Well done, buddy. Well done.
I did it. Streaming are hard.
12. And how many I have left? 4.
Oh.
1, 6 for them not to die. Do you have any more shooting that are going?
I can.
All the characters.
Looks like Pablo is here.
What's their range? 12 inches?
Johnny come lately.
Well, I made
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I was just busy with Jason's mom, but I'm back.
Sick middle school burn.
I'll make sure to tell him whenever he comes back up here.
Yeah, by the
Please
way,
do.
at the table, this is Doug and Cody. Jason's too big and too important to actually run the stream anymore, so he had to get us minions.
Okay, that's right on, man. That's good. And so Nick is not playing Orks.
It looks
No,
like
Nick
he
is
left.
playing Ors.
It looks like there's only one boy left, so he's gonna have to CP reroll that one to kill it.
Yep. He did it.
Yep.
So for those of us just tuning in, well, what is going on? What's the layout of the game?
intervene or any of that stuff?
Been a bloody first turn, Pablo. Necron player went first, thank goodness. Otherwise, it would have been pretty rough.
Oh.
He did his super Doom Scythe nuke, killed like 6 smasher guns, and lit up quite a few of the boys. And then on the counterattack, the Orks killed 3 vehicles and a unit of Immortals. So it's been pretty bloody.
But at the top right corner of your screen, there's 6 wraiths about to charge like 15 Ludas and hopefully wrap up a shock attack gun.
He did roll for his number of shots and got the magic 3 again, so could do some damage.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Overwatch is always scary.
Especially against Ludas.
Like 8 wounds.
Doesn't look so bad so far.
It 8 wounds.
Kills the guy. Yay.
Gotta love those dice apps.
Yeah, Orc players like need it.
What happened to the GW dice app?
Did you know that dice app was stopped being supported by Games Workshop? I believe it also left one of the app stores, if not both of them, Apple and Android app stores. But basically, it just stopped being supported.
Right, but since Reese has an inside track, maybe he could give us the real reason.
Yes, Ricio, in his never-ending schemes, made sure to get rid of it.
Because it helped Tau, so...
Indeed. Did the Doom Scythe not shoot?
No, it did. I think it got a character. Well, maybe not.
Bueno.
He may have shot it into the Orcs as well.
Right,
He may have had to.
Jeez, Orks, man. Those are Orks. 22 attacks coming back at you.
Oh, the race looked like they whiffed a little bit there.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
They
there's
killed
only
4.
4.
That's brutal. Oof.
3s wounding on 5s.
You didn't want that.
Well, you wrap them up and then you tag the shock attack gun, and one of those guys is not leaving combat, so it's not the end of the world.
5s. 2.
But yeah, that was unexpected. The race should have killed a lot more than 4.
Okay. All right.
And I don't think he was able to wrap.
Yeah, did he not pile in, or did he base all the boys? If so, that was a mistake.
I think he did.
Yeah. Well, plus there's actually not enough room on the ruin right here, and so I think his opponent was able to pull casualties so that he wasn't able to get a guy through there.
Wraiths ignore, they move through stuff.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, like right there.
So
I don't
that
know,
was
if
a
he-
missed opportunity. He could have
Looks
tagged
like,
that shock attack in.
Looks like he picked a whole bushel of oopsie daisies.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt.
Uh-oh.
I got one. Yep.
Do Necrons have a fight twice stratagem?
Only for the
Novak
one
Dynasty does.
I like Novak actually a lot. That's with my infantry Necron army, I usually play Novak because then
That's
they
what I
just
play.
run
I
up
really
Yeah.
like it.
Because you run up, shoot, and charge, and they're pretty solid.
I mean, yeah, they just got the stats of Space Marine. Yeah, they don't get as many attacks, but you get to reroll hits. I really love my flayed ones, Novak. I know they're not the greatest, but rerolling hits and wounds, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
So he got a bunch of points, but will it be enough? He's at 10 right now.
He really needed to kill that Looter unit, but maybe he'll get lucky and they'll fail to jump.
These Grots are going to advance. They're just going to get out of the way for the boys.
Go to the players here for a second.
He might actually get shot off of his objective too. But it doesn't matter. He already
Boys are
got
going to
one.
advance.
Advantage. A whopping one.
A whopping 1. That's 2. So a total of 8-inch movement. Just going to put the first one right there.
Oh, also at the bottom of this turn, we're gonna play a commercial from our sponsors.
What sponsors? Get out of here.
It's Frontline Gaming.
Oh, best sponsor ever.
Commercial is 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
It's
Now, I heard-
It's a long commercial.
Yeah. I heard that you guys were going to offer a new deal starting in 2020. You're going to give 20% off.
All right.
20 and 20.
Yeah.
Advance and charge.
Yeah, you actually can't. Per the contract with GW, you cannot discount more than 15%.
Got him going to take
Well,
Oh.
you can, and then they don't sell to you anymore.
Right. Like if you get caught, then you're gonna get your account pulled.
We'll go ahead and
Well, let's not do that then.
Indeed.
You know what, though? This is much better. Back in the day, you couldn't have a web cart, and you had to do like weird email orders and everything.
Yeah, they've come a long way. The new GW is more progressive. It's not so stodgy and set in the silly old ways.
Yeah, they're all going vegan. You know,
Oh.
They're wearing stretchy pants.
yeah, do yoga. Namaste is on all of their walls with like kitten posters.
I'm going to show some
Hang in
Nobody's
there.
getting
dirty orc tricks.
vaccinated. It's just forward
Essential
into the
oils.
future.
All the plastic is molded with essential oils
Orc
Wow.
mixed in.
It's a new day, baby. GW getting woke, says Questworthy. T-Land Prosper, thank you so much for the shout out. He says FLG is the bestest.
got 2 objectives like I want.
They quit drinking beer. No, that's going too far.
Will not get this turn, so I will
If
not
you
burn
you
it.
can't be an English person and not go to the pub. That's just madness.
There's just too many of them there. You can't spit without hitting a pub.
It's where you go to eat. Like, so let me see. What do you Orc player is trying to counter here? He's got the Grots coming out.
Got some Grots coming out, going to hold some objectives. He's definitely going to drop down his unit of Orks from the teleporter. I think he talked about
Yeah.
trying to hold at least 2 objectives. He looks like he's going to try to make a nice 8-inch charge against those Immortals.
This is the critical turn for the Orcs. He needs a good. If he has a good turn this turn, he's going to be in good shape. If not, he's going to be on his back foot big time.
Yeah.
Just so I can kill some, with shooting and. So I think I can get like 5. Probably. Okay, that works for me. Put a guy here. 18 inches from there. That's what I want. Alright, so that happens at the end of the movement phase. That was my unit that was in deep strike.
He needs to make this charge, and he needs to have the jump go off, which it
I'm
should.
gonna cast the jump on the Ludas.
Where's the weird boy?
He's that guy right in the middle there with a stick in his hand.
Oh, in the top middle of the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it went off.
The Ludas can now shoot.
Yep.
They're gonna come right over here. Right now, I want a grot shield for them, I think.
Here's the age-old question. Do you let him set up all those Ludas and then measure it from the Doom site that's sitting right there, or is he going to let that go?
I think I'm still at a 7 on the cast. Doesn't
I'm surprised he put the Ludas right there. I guess he really wants to control the middle of the board.
He wanted a grot shield.
I see.
Psychic phase over there. At
Okay,
5
those are grots.
apiece. Ludas are moved, so they are going to get probably more dock on them, but I'll see what I can kill first. All right, so we're gonna start shooting some met guns at here.
Guns.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice, but the grot shield makes sense. And he still needs to deal with the race. I guess, is that a unit of boys that came in on the corner there?
At a time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
he
the
had the unit
spot
still in
towards
reserve.
the clock, that's where the choppy boys came in.
Can
What about the
Wraiths leave
top-
combat?
Yes, they can. What about the top right corner? Is that a unit of boys that was just chilling back there?
I guess there was.
Well, they can do a number on the race.
Yes, right around this corner there's a big unit of boys I did not see.
Me neither.
8.
8 drops me to 2.
Okay.
Now, Wraiths, they can't leave combat in charge, right?
Yes, they can.
They can. Okay, so they're just unaffected. Yeah, I think
Yeah, we're gonna shoot
if
one
you're
at
the
a
Orc
time.
player here, I actually think you have to get another big game hunter point for max big game hunter.
6.
So he
Should
already
be-
has.
It should be easy. That Doom Scythe is living on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last one. One shot looking for a 5. Yay. Now can I get that 6 here? Yes, I can.
Oh, the annoying thing about Smash Guns, they take forever to resolve their attacks. I think you're going to see a lot of players switching to the tractor cannon because there's going to be so many fly keyword vehicles in the game.
Go to the good old war boss next.
Yeah, they need their best answer against repulsors.
The white ones are.
I mean, Smash Guns aren't bad, but I think the tractor cannon is just going to be an easy choice.
Yes.
Now-
I mean, just auto hits, so
Now, is there an American flag painted on each of those Smasher guns on the front shield?
you,
That's what
sir,
it
would
looks
be
like.
correct.
Oh, so that's what's taking them so long, Reese. They're saying the Pledge of Allegiance in between every shot.
His war boss is Ronald Reagan Ork.
Rorkald Reagan.
Ron
Ork-
Ork Reagan, I guess? I got
Ronald
nothing.
Wagon.
Ooh, Ronald Wagon. He got it.
Nailed it.
Maybe it'll actually do something.
Why is the Warhammer community site so obnoxious to navigate?
Shots again with them.
Somebody in the
You're just not
chat-
woke enough, bro.
I'm not. Someone in the chat asked where the announcement for the Warhammer Legends was, and I was gonna just link it, but now I can't find it.
I can't even remember what article it was on.
I thought it was the Nova Open, but I don't even know.
It's going to be such a sad day for some art. Like Orcs get hit the hardest with that, and Chaos gets hit pretty hard too. It's makes me sad.
Bad enough to buy a new Space Marine army from Frontline Gaming.
Yeah, there's always a reason for that, baby.
Absolutely. We have a great Space Marine Tactical Marine army you can buy. No Primaris models, so if you want to go old school.
Hey,
Assault Marines.
Tactical Marines are actually a really, really good choice now at 12 points for holding objectives and being an engineer. They're only 1 point more than a scout.
That's
And
true.
when, if you put them in cover, they have a 2-up save. It's seriously not a bad choice at all to just be an objective holding unit.
Well, get ready for this. I also have a large Deathwing Terminators, Dark Angels Terminators army you can buy. It's a pretty good deal. I heard they're pretty amazing. Even better than
what?
Iron Hands Repulsors.
You know what Terminators are really, really good? No joke.
Paladins.
Well, yes, but Salamander's Terminators are the business.
Tlemprosser, unfortunately, the Berserker dice are currently sold out. They sell out every time we order them from Chessex. They're probably one of the more popular items.
Well, then get on it and order more. Geez, do I have to do everything around here?
They've been ordered. They're in the mail.
My administrative duties have done for the day.
Now, this Space Marine armor you're talking about, where might one find it?
So you can actually go to frontlinegaming.org/secondhand shop to look at our secondhand shop, and then from there, that's the eBay link to our store on eBay. You can take a look at some Deathwing Knights and other goodies. Probably better. I just put up like 5 repulsors, Space Marine repulsors, so those will probably be the ones you go for on the way to the Deathwing Terminators, but those Deathwing Terminators are in there somewhere.
So the Ludas just took a bite out of the Wraith unit.
Okay, so you shot the Ludas at the Wraiths?
Yep.
That was probably the right call.
Yeah.
Now it looks like there's only 2 left.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yes. Now you're no longer worried about those.
Suka La Manique in the chat says, "What is Chaos losing from the Index? Anything on a bike." That's a big one. Chaos Biker Lords are incredibly good, especially the Red Corsairs version is an absolute savage. A lot of things with jump packs. Those it's the character options that are going to hurt the most for Chaos.
You mean my Khorne Lord on a Juggernaut?
Who is a beast? He hits like a truck.
I mean, not really.
I don't like the sound of that. I don't want to lose my sorcerer with a jump pack. I need him.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like a lot of the really good options for characters are going bye-bye.
7, 10.
And when does that take effect?
Only one hit.
I don't want to say because I can't remember if
no, you're
said
good.
it in the article or not.
I do, or I think that Adepticon in 2020.
I think they said it was happening.
They said next year. Or no, they did say soon. But I think talking with some of the judges at Adepticon, I think Adepticon is not going to allow index units at all.
I think we're going to leave them for the LVO just because the whole season people have been using them, so it's like might as well let them finish out the season.
Yeah, but the index unit, the index's days are numbered.
So the 3 damage.
Oh, what's the Zorg player lighting up the Doomsday Arc now?
Down to 1.
And then the
I think so.
Over there.
Right there. I think he still has line. Yep.
Mr. Prosser, I think it's just because the models just aren't going to be supported anymore. I don't know. I think it's an interesting choice. It'd be easy to leave the data sheets in the game, but whatever.
It's weird because, they're going towards no model, no rules, but like the Space Marine Codex still has a couple, like Chaplain and Jump Pack and
Biker
Librarian.
Captain.
Yeah.
Well, the Chaplain with the Jump Pack does have a model, but there's no biker any character except for Khan on a bike, which even that doesn't even have a model. It's a model in the Death Watch kit.
Yep.
Well, there's an old metal guy.
Sure, but it's just weird that Space Marines get to keep a lot of their legacy units when there's no model. But like, why is there a Space Marine Captain on a bike but not a Chaos Lord on a bike?
I mean, Space
Because
Marines
they
also
wanted
have.
to give something for Chaos to complain about.
True. Chaos players are much like real Chaos Space Marines. They're full of bitterness. Doug is a perfect example of that.
What did I do now?
You are a Chaos player. You're full of hate and discontent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And not the good kind of hatred either, the bad kind.
No, I pull my super old Chaos, Khorne Berserkers out, and I keep trying, and I get mad about it, and I put them back.
Red Corsairs Berserkers are legit.
They really are.
No, like I use them in my competitive Chaos list. I have 9 in a Rhino with Huron, who is a beast for his points. Dude, they get out of the Rhino and then I warp time them and like they can move, they can advance and charge. I'm like tagging every unit in my opponent's backfield from my deployment zone.
So here's the issue with that. It's just not. It's not Khorne. It's not fluffy. I'm not casting no psychic powers. not using no
Markicorn, bro.
Huron.
This is
All my stuff is
Huron-
World Eaters.
Huron's technically not a psyker. It's his little Hydra, little like gimp buddy.
No, I know.
So like, you know, fluff-wise, you're not using a psyker because he's not technically.
Here's my reasoning. So I have the host trap Toro, and I built them all up to look like corn, as you know, and it's the Hounds of Abaddon. So my fluff behind it is that if you ever read the Talon of Horus or anything, any time that Iskandar would start like casting some kind of psychic power, it would make the Butcher's Nail like push in Laharl's mind and make him more aggressive. So that's the point. Abaddon put that guy there to make the whole army just go ferocious.
You guys
Yeah,
can
exactly.
you guys can rationalize it all you want, but like I'm a true corn
a guy on our
follower.
team went to a GT this last weekend, and he had a unit of 20 berserkers in the fortification,
Yeah.
and he would do the same thing, like disembark, move, warp time, go with Red Corsairs. He killed Mortarion, and it was like Mortarion and like some other big unit in one round of combat with a unit of 20 berserkers. They just went through him like a buzzsaw.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Oh, I need some new corn berserkers. I want the models in my life.
The models are hideous. They were one of the first multi-part plastic kits. They're so dated.
Attempts to overwatch the crap out of you.
We usually convert them out of Blood Warriors from AOS.
I think that's the way to go.
That is
I was
definitely
looking
the
at
way
the
to
new
go.
Chaos Space Marine kit too. Like, I don't like how they all have like the little like tabards laying in front of them, but they are pretty cool.
No,
So what else is getting lit up? It looks like he's in melee with the big unit of boys in the race.
yeah, he's trying to finish him off with his unit that was in reserve. It looks like.
9 on the charge. Which returns
I mean,
How
you
many
can't have two
units
raids.
did Necron
Just,
player kill?
how many units?
Yeah.
Does he? It looks like he's overwatching the unit of boys.
He
Is that
did
what's going on?
overwatch the boys, and now they made their charge.
God, he made another charge from reserves. Lucky son of a gun.
I know.
Well, he's evil sons, so they get their +1.
Yeah, but still an 8. I think he
Still,
rolled like
it's
a
an
10.
8.
8 with a
An
reroll.
8. It's still like the odds are. It's like a little bit better than a coin toss. It's tough.
Yeah, I think the real issue though is that the Immortals were out of position because they had to advance to get all their shots. And on the other hand, if he would have kept him in the or near the ruin, it's possible that he wouldn't have got to Overwatch at all.
Well, I
mean,
wonder if you think about it, he could have just moved him up a floor and still shot those orcs.
He could have done that too.
Yeah.
with the boys.
If he failed that charge, the Necron player is still 100% in the game. But it's pretty bad. We'll see how the combat goes, but he's probably going to nuke that unit.
I'm assuming the Necron player doesn't have anything in reserve. This is it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all he has is a unit on the bottom right, which is in a pretty poor position.
Yeah, they've been just chilling in that ruin. I mean, he's going to go out and kill the Grots next turn and hold the objective, but
27 are going to be in.
I
yeah,
do
he's
believe-
on his back foot big time.
I do believe that Mama just asked him to put his guns in the ground because he can't use them anymore.
There's an alternate view of the carnage. That's kind of a shitty view. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, the Wraiths kind of fell on their face against the Ludas. That was unfortunate.
That he really needed that to go his way.
Yeah, if he could have taken the Ludas out, he wouldn't have taken as much damage on his turn. And then he needed the Orcs not to make that long charge, but hey.
Well, yeah, at that point, that's just dice. I mean, you can't. He played it correctly.
Yeah, indeed. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Because if that unit of Immortals would have been, if he didn't make that charge and the Immortals are fine, next turn he kills those boys, and then as long as he can take a chunk out of the Ludas, he's still totally in the game. But now he's definitely underwater at this point.
Exactly.
Now, is the Iron Halo rolling these L's in the middle as ruins or impassable walls?
For this game, I do believe they counted them as ruins.
Yeah, I think you have to play those as ruins.
Coming out of socket.
And if there is one piece of feedback that you could take back to your boys there, Recio, we need some real terrain rules.
Yeah, the terrain rules are the weakest part of 8th edition without question.
And 8th edition is light years better than any of the other, editions.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
problem-
So that's 22.
I would love to go back to a fourth ed style or fifth ed style terrain where it was more abstract. It's so much better for match play when you play like the real line of sight and everything. It doesn't really work for match play. It's great for narrative and it's great for open gaming.
Yep.
Match play lends itself to abstract terrain rules, in my opinion. It just makes it so much easier.
I can't tell you how irritating it is to like judge over, shooting antennas and stuff. It's just I want that to go away.
You don't want to penalize people for making the models look cool. That's just bad. It's just bad in a miniatures game, right? Like,
And you don't want people to model them like small and hunched over and everything.
yeah, you don't dangle a carrot. You don't incentivize players to model for advantage, which the current terrain rules absolutely do.
Right, and it's tough for the TOs too because we got all this terrain and now we just have to build these giant cardboard L's.
Well, you could also get some totally sweet and thematic
That's 5.
ITC terrain from Frontline Gaming.
Absolutely. If everyone bought our ITC Terrain Gothic bundle set, we would have standardized terrain.
So
Do those come with a free complimentary set of dice?
For every 1,000 kits you buy, you get one free reroll in an ITC event.
Boom.
Done. Sign me up.
Yeah, just.
You like that marketing, Reese? I just made that up.
You know what? If anybody does it,
I hold
you're getting a promotion.
I didn't get a bonus.
1,000 kits.
is this the end
Someone's
of the
got to
term?
make it happen.
The Immortals are dead, and that's pretty much
Okay, I
game.
got all my marks, all my games.
Big games.
All right, while they're scoring this up, we're going to cut to a commercial from our sponsors. So everybody be quiet for 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
All right.
4-2.
Hey there, my name is Reese, the head administrator of the ITC, and I wanted to say thank you for checking out our Patreon. The ITC, or Independent Tournament Circuit, is comprised of tabletop gaming event organizers that have joined forces to create a global community of interlinked gaming events. The ITC provides guidelines for these organizers to help start and grow their local communities. The ITC also tracks points earned for attendance of and performance at member tournaments and leagues on global leaderboards, which create excitement and are a lot of fun to track over the course of the season. Participants can engage in friendly competition to be the best in the world, the best in their region, the best with a given faction, or the best team for both the competitive and hobby tracks. Through the app our partners have created at Best Coast Pairings, event organizers also have access to a free, powerful tool to promote, run, and report their events to the ITC's database right through their phones. While we've done this huge amount of work to create this circuit out of a love for the game and the communities that grow around them, it's grown considerably over the years. From a small 450-person circuit in the first year run on an Excel spreadsheet, to now consisting of over 12,000 participants with sophisticated software to help keep it all organized. With this growth, the cost of running the circuit has also increased considerably. But before we go any further, we want to emphasize that the ITC is absolutely free to participate in. You do not have to pay a penny to join in the fun and take advantage of the support network we've built for community organizers. This Patreon is entirely optional. Further, we pledge that 100% of every dollar generated by this Patreon will go back into the ITC. If we manage to exceed our...
Okay, and we're back.
That's funny. That actually was a Frontline Gaming commercial. I thought you guys were kidding.
Jason told me I had to.
We appreciate it. That's awesome.
However,
Voice was a little deep there, Reese. We're using one of those chat filters.
That's just because I'm all man, baby. That's just the way it sounds.
His
Reese has
balls
that-
dropped at just the right time for that video. Finally,
Yeah.
after 40 years.
I'm not
No.
40 yet there, Skippy.
Actually, Reese has that perfect voice that sounds like he smoked like a carton of cigarettes a day for his entire life.
I know. And I sounded like that when I was a kid, too. Like, I've always had a really scratchy voice.
Very distinctive.
That's very true. Man, this poor Necron player, that just... His last turn, he needed a bigger turn, and it just didn't happen for him.
Yeah, he lost the unit on the bottom left there. He's unfortunately not very many of his models are in position to take and contest those objectives.
No, he's done for. It's
Yeah,
He's way behind on
playing for
score
points.
too.
Playing for points now.
He needs that remaining Doomsday Arc to just kill 3/4 of the army.
Easy peasy.
Bonnie Tyler's "I Need a Hero." That's it.
Oh, the race got nuked too. Ouchie.
Had a guy close combat.
Yeah.
He's done so. He put up a good fight though. He put up a good fight. He needed a couple things to go his way. If the Orc player fails, especially the first charge, the Necron player is in a really good position. If he failed that second charge, he's still in the game. But now, because the Orc player made both of those charges out of Deep Strike, he just was able to take out the Immortals, who are one of the biggest threats to him.
Well, that was a mistake on the Orc player's part. He shouldn't have shot at that unit at all.
It worked out for him though.
It did.
Then it was like an 11-inch charge or something like that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Luck favors the bold.
It does indeed.
You know, I'm not sold on Wraiths in his list, in the Necron players list. I think, did he have any Tomb Blades?
No, we were talking about that earlier. If he would have taken
Tomb Blades really.
Yeah, a big unit of Tomb Blades would have been infinitely better in this matchup.
Yeah,
and
the Tomb Blades can hop on the
better-
terrain.
Sorry, go
They're
ahead.
the best unit in the Necron Codex, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, and Necrons actually have a lot of tools to go toe to toe with Space Marines.
It's funny,
Especially if they
that.
get the first turn.
We were just in the beginning of the game. We were saying that they're really well equipped to kill Space Marines.
Oh, there you go. Great minds think alike. Yeah, but unfortunately, this particular Necron list just didn't have it against a really good Orc list, and I think probably the gold standard of Orc lists. Maybe a different gun on the mech guns, but
Smasher guns are definitely the de facto choice right now. You're seeing so many of them. I'm still trying to make Truck Boys work, but so far I'm failing pretty miserably.
What about Mega Knobs?
Is there another Orc unit? What's going on here?
they just keep coming.
No, I think he dejumped them.
Got it. Oh, it's the unit that was up in the corner.
Right.
Mega Knobs are good. They were, a lot of people were using them in the beginning of the when the Codex first came out, because you were mobbing them up. They still hit really hard. I play Goff and Bad Moons, and Goff Mega Knobs they hit like an absolute truck.
Yeah, there was a bit of a resurgence of them over the summer as well. There were a couple ETC lists with Mega Knobs, and then there was the glorious Australian meta had two players that were doing really, really well with Mega Knobs.
You know what? It's the Australian meta. It's a lot like Stranger Things, because they're the upside down. You know what I mean? So it's the things that are good here are bad there, and the things that are bad there are good here. It makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah, upside down. Just like how Stranger Things makes sense when you think about it.
Duh.
That's what I tell people when I roll a 1. It's just an Australian 6.
In Australia, you rolled a 6.
It's an Australian 6. Yeah.
So
Boom.
if I'm losing all the tournaments here, it means I'm dominating down there.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yep.
Australia is a magical place.
Full of poisonous monsters and ex-convicts. That's Jason's shtick, though. I can't take the bananas anti-Australia shtick away from him. That's mean.
No, actually, Australia's great.
Oh yeah, I have so much of my family lives in Australia. Like every couple of years, we lose another one to Australia. They just keep moving there. I feel like there's boys just appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I Did he green tide those orcs? I thought they have to come off of a board edge. I'm not exactly sure where all the extra ones came from.
No, he used his command points. I think he green tied one squad and then he dejumped the other one.
Brutal.
Because he had 4 command points and then just burned 3. Basically, he was trying to move that squad on the far left. It couldn't move far enough to get within charge range of the characters at the bottom left. So I think he used the stratagem there, and then he dejumped the ones from the top right into the middle.
Rough.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just has a lot of units left still, and the Necrons pretty much only have a couple characters, the Doomsday Ark, and then the Immortals that are just doing nothing.
And the Doomsday Ark is damaged too.
Yeah. And his Cryptek is out of position to heal it up too.
See, again, should have had that the spider. He could have been fixing that Doomsday Ark the whole time.
And we brought it back.
Secret tech.
Dude, I'm telling you, great engineer, lots of utility.
That's it. I'm going on eBay today, and I'm buying some spiders for my army.
Don't go to eBay.
Secondhand shop, baby.
That's
go to
what I
eBay,
meant.
but go to Frontline Gaming secondhand shop.
That's where I'm going to go. Of course.
I'm not
in
sure
the
if we have any spiders.
In the chat, Prosser says that Australia equals Tyranid country. It is, and it's also Catachan.
Tyranids and Catachan.
So, sad face. Frontline Gaming does not have any. Oh, never mind. There it is. Doom Spider. Boom.
Boom. Get them while they're hot.
Make my order tonight.
Link in the chat.
There you go. Do you all have a roving reporter, floor reporter on hand?
Yeah, what do you need?
How is Matt Root doing on table 3 against Ben Neal?
Oh, that kind of reporter. Hang on a minute, let me check. I thought you meant just like for this table. I'm sorry.
Well, it's only like over there. It's not that far over.
Yeah, it's
They
just
don't know
down
that.
off the stage.
There's another Necron player that's won his game, and he's up against Tau. That's always an interesting matchup.
Oh, you can't
Yeah,
there's the boys going after those Necron characters.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tau adjusts to the Space Marine meta, because the new Space Marines, especially Iron Hands and White Scars, just have Tau's number. It's going to be, they're going to have to adjust big time, or the Richard Siegler style list just will not, they will just get obliterated by Iron Hands.
I don't know. Richard Siegler's a really good player, and I don't know if it. Obviously, I'm not him, but I don't know if he needs to change up a whole lot of his list and maybe more changing his strategy, because the way he plays Tau, it can beat Space Marines the way he plays them, with the aggressive way and the heavy screening, making sure your Riptides move all over the place.
I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He's the best Tau player I've ever seen. And by the way, he wrote about a report about his GT winning performance Super Major winning performance at Nova Open. You can go read it.
He also did an interview with Nick Nanavati and John Damaris.
Excellent. That's The Art of War on the FLGN podcast network. But if you do just the math, because he relies on the burst tides and the commanders to do all the damage. A burst tide does jack and squat against Iron Hands vehicles. It just doesn't do any damage to them.
Now, it's funny you say that. You used to play Raptors all the time. I'm surprised you're not more on Raven Guard.
Ooh, I'm playing
Raven Guard are really interesting. They're the most interesting Space Marine chapter, in my opinion. They have the most tricks, and they're actually going to be good at killing Iron Hands, in my opinion. But White Scars are just too much fun. They're such a blast to play.
It just seems like the Raven Guard have a trick to do anything that the other chapters can do as well.
I really
Yeah,
think that
and-
the Raven Guard are going to be like your more strategic style of play, where your Iron Hands are just going to be your hammer. You know, like I think they really are going to be a scalpel that's going to be a really good general. It's going to do some really cool things with them.
I feel like they're the more the anvil because they don't hit the hardest. Wait till you see salamanders; they by a mile hit the hardest. But the Iron Hands just don't die. Like that's going to be their. They hit very hard in the Devastator Doctrine, but I think that their defining characteristic is their durability.
Raven Guard, not only are they going to be a thinking man's army, but you really need to design like the right formulaic list for them. I think there's going to be a lot of pitfalls that people fall into when building Raven Guard lists. They're going to take a lot of units that maybe aren't the best optimally for the list, the Iron Hands just have the best matchup against the whole field, like across the board.
They're like the trained monkey can play Iron Hands army.
Yeah.
You know, like because they're very forgiving. It's going to be a really good army for new players. It's low model count. You get to use big cool models. You can make mistakes and be fine.
Yeah, Raven Guard have some really crushing matchups that they can't really do well against.
I feel like Raven Guard are going to be the high skill cap army, just like Genestealer Cult. Like if you're not good at the game, you're going to get smushed. If you're really good at the game, you're going to be able to respond to anything.
By the way, those Orc boys just picked up the Overlord and the Cryptek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're watching a slow death here. This gentleman he got in a bad car accident. He's in the ICU on a respirator. His family's like, "Gosh, should we pull the plug or not? We love him. We don't want to watch him die. This is really painful." He's got a life insurance policy too. You know, what do we do?
But he's still smiling, Reese. He's
Oddly
good.
specific.
Got that single tear just rolling down the side of his face. You don't know if it's real or not.
He's smiling and he's got a full, nice head set of hair going right there.
That's something that, some of us would definitely like to have.
So you just gotta focus on the positives.
The Necron player could have won this game for sure. Just luck didn't go his way. I think he made a couple mistakes, and the Orc player just got it when he needed it.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, it's a dice game, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think he should have pushed the Wraiths on the left side of the flank instead of the right, and maybe just went for the smashing guns on that side? Because there is that building right there, and I felt like there was maybe less resistance on that left side, but I didn't see how deployment happened.
He
Go ahead.
deployed aggressively and he got first turn, and that the Necron player absolutely positively had to go first, or this wouldn't have even been a game.
He had a good idea
In
to
his
go over there
list-
and kill the Ludas, but Wraiths just flubbed.
Okay.
It fell flat, yeah. And then I'm assuming because I always play with the character that can teleport you once per game, and that would have allowed him to really do some work. I'm sure he would have grot screened the Ludas, but the mobility is something the Necrons really need.
Well, that might have been the play for the unit of Immortals that was hanging out in the building the whole game. Veil of Darkness,
Right.
and then all of a sudden do some work, but he didn't capitalize on that.
So turn one, what does the Necron player kill?
He killed 4 of the Smasher guns,
Oh my gosh.
and I think that was about it. Oh, he killed a unit of Grots.
And he got the
Yeah,
Wraiths right in their face.
He did, yeah. And if he could have, if he had a unit of Tomb Blades with Tesla, he could have killed all the Grots on the first turn, and denied his opponent the Grot shield. But he didn't have any.
And then when he charged the Ludas, he just completely whiffed.
Yeah, only killing 4 Ludas with a full strength unit of Wraiths on the charge is really bad luck.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things too is, you're in a tournament, you paid to play 5 or 6 games. Do you just shake at this point, or do you play it out just, because you paid to play, or what?
I do. I'm at the Iron Halo. I'm definitely conceding. going down off the table, getting a milkshake, getting a cheeseburger, maybe hassling Matt Root at his game.
Well, just
You know,
remember,
enjoying the venue.
if you concede in the ITC, you get 0 points. So make sure you don't do that unless you're comfortable taking a goose egg.
I'll take the goose egg. The cheeseburger and the milkshake are worth it.
I mean, would you?
Does the milkshake bring all the boys
would-
to the yard, Pablo?
It brings this boy to the yard. I will tell you what, Reese.
Well, it was a pun. He's playing Orks. Get it? Does it bring all the boys to the yard? Come on.
Yeah,
That was really
but yeah,
bad.
the venue at the Iron Halo is great. For those of you listening at home who maybe haven't been there, it's held in a youth center. So there's a virtual reality gaming area that's set aside in the middle of the venue. You can go in there and you can play some games. They've got snacks, they've got food. Outside, they've got like a Ninja Warrior obstacle course and a skate park. So you could. There's a lot to do, like in terms of activities and little things and just enjoying the venue. And then there's food places super close by. So it's a really nice little venue.
Yeah, this is kind of like the happening spot in downtown Bartlesville. The area is really nice and built up. The hotel is right across the street.
Yeah.
I have never been to Oklahoma, actually. I'd like to go sometime.
We would welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, it's funny. I did a lot of traveling as a younger man just for fun, but I've actually seen a ton of the world from 40K, which is hilarious.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I haven't traveled as much since I joined Frontline. I've done a ton of traveling since I joined.
Yeah, Pablo, you didn't really travel much at all prior to working at Frontline, and now you've gone to all over the dang
Oh,
place.
yeah, I've been everywhere. I've been all over. I still haven't traveled to another country yet, but that's just mostly for just from scheduling. I've had plenty of opportunities to go to like Canada and the UK and stuff. I just haven't.
I want to say that I've probably been more places playing 40K than places I've been in the military.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's funny how when you get involved with the match play community, all of a sudden your world expands dramatically. You start going to places you've never been before and making friends all around the country or even the world. It's really cool.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that even though we've traveled a lot collectively between the four of us, we haven't even seen all there is in 40K in terms of 40K communities. Like, not even close. There's like thousands of 40K bustling and lively 40K communities all around the world. And it's growing, which is even nuts. More nuts.
Even in Australia.
Yeah, even in Australia, where they have to host tournaments in saltwater croc pits, and in spider nests.
I heard crocodiles are no joke. Like, alligators just kind of, they're kind of slow, but a persistent danger. Crocodiles, they come after you.
Yeah, well, crocs. So I got on a bit of a Steve Irwin binge, especially because in November is Steve Irwin Day. Mark your calendars. But saltwater crocs can jump out of the water like almost their full body length. And if you know saltwater crocs, you know how big they get. That's a really big jump. There's like videos of Steve Irwin standing in like a tower over a pit, and the saltwater croc just jumps up and gets the rabbit. You're like, oh crap. Well, so they're definitely mobile and gigantic.
Yeah, they eat sharks, right? That's all you need to know. Actually,
Australian sharks, Reese.
They eat whatever they want to
Yes.
eat.
in an environment that is not forgiving.
You mean the crocodile goes to the Italian restaurant and orders a burger?
You can if you want.
If it wanted to, it would. And would you deny that crocodile a burger if he came into your
He'll
restaurant?
eat the
Absolutely
restaurant
not.
if you deny him.
That's a horrible business plan. You should give him whatever he wants.
Yep. And it's funny though, on the point of the global community, especially with the ITC, we've seen it's bananas. Like, there's GTs in China, Malaysia, Thailand. We had an event in Uruguay, Venezuela, Chile, South Africa. It's insane. It's such a bigger community than people think, especially if you're just hanging out at your local FLGS. Like that's just there's so much more out there for people who are interested in exploring it.
I want to explore Necron player's courage because he's got his overlord, you know. Oh no, no, he killed a couple boys.
Yeah, he's about to get tabled.
I mean, he made it to turn 4. I thought this game would end on 3. So power to him.
It looks like he's being a good sport and taking it all in stride too.
Yeah, he's definitely had a good attitude, which is what you want to see on a player playing in the top table. It looks like he's just enjoying everything and trying to get as many points as he can.
Definitely not going to go home and kick the dog.
Yeah, you kick somebody else's dog.
Oh yeah.
So any word on Matt Root?
No, I haven't got a chance to. Let me. Oh, I see Jason.
Just go walk over there. Cody's acting like it's like on the other side of the hall, but it's really like 5 feet over on to the left.
Are the judges wearing those yellow vests?
Yes, they are.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if you are a listener and you're watching this, you get to, as a rare sighting for you, a judge in its natural habitat. If you look in your top right screen, you'll see 2 judges sitting on a table talking and relaxing. That is a judge in its natural habitat. That is what happens when you have a smooth rule set at a venue with a lot of really chill dudes.
He's beautiful, mate.
I thought that no, actually, he's over there because he's watching Matt Root. See that's where they are.
Oh, Yak Hunter in the chat. Oh no.
Oh, Jason's coming over to do the camera on Matt's game.
Oh, nice. We'll go take us away, Jason.
Got a special treat.
There's no need to see the death throes of a Necron player.
Beep beep bop.
Yeah.
Beep boop bop.
All right, so that score is Matt 13. His opponent is 11. Ooh. What turn are they in?
Oh, wow.
His opponent is 13 to what? You cut out there.
Sorry, there.
13
it's
to 11.
13 to 11, turn 3.
Ooh.
Matt's in the lead by 2.
Yeah, Matt Root's obviously a really good player, but Ben Neal is also not a bad player. As soon as I saw that matchup, I thought, oh, I would really like to see what's going on there.
Hey, there's Dave Airmon, too. Backside.
Some would say his best side.
Matt Root's rear section as well.
Ooh, what's that doctorate?
You can
that booty went
almost
to
see
lost.
the table.
That's the middle school booty.
So, was the Iron Hands and Raven Guard supplements allowed at this event, or were they too soon?
Nah, they were too soon.
Too
they
soon.
didn't quite make it.
So only Ultramarines and White Scars. The gentleman's Space Marines.
Yeah, when if Peter ever gets in here, Yak Hunter, Peter the Falcon from 40K Stats Center, he's got some great stats on Space Marines and how dominant they are. They've had a historic, couple month run or 1 month run of tournaments so far that no other faction has performed as well as them, basically, in terms of, I think, T-Whip and stuff. But they're basically Space Marines are doing really well right now.
What's their win percentage? Or I guess it's each supplement is his own army now, essentially. But what are the win percentages looking like? Do you know?
The win percentage.
Or I guess Yak Hunter.
Yeah. Peter can obviously do this a lot better than I am. But the last number Peter gave me wasn't that the win percentage wasn't that high. It was like 52, 53%. That also makes sense because there's a ton of Space Marine players, right? So there's obviously going to be a lot of bad Space Marine players that bring the win percentage down. But their T-Whip is one of the highest, and the T-Whip is tournaments and winning percentage. Basically, the chance that your army will go 4-0, and going 4-0 at a tournament is a really good indicator of how powerful your army is. And Space Marine, if you play Space Marines, you have like a 20% chance at an event of going 4-0 with them, which is nuts.
So that's an
Yeah.
indicator that they're really good. 'Cause they're always going to have a diluted win percentage because there's such a big player pool. Unlike with Yanari, which got up to like 70% win percentage, but they weren't being played by that many people. The people that were playing them were excellent players.
By the way, Yanari were robbed.
Ooh,
Cry me a river.
are we doing political stuff right now or already?
Political.
Well, 40K political stuff.
Oh yeah.
40K opinion stuff.
No,
I didn't think we were on the controversial part.
I only believe
That was all I
Valerie-
want to talk about.
Valerie in the chat is asking, is that comparable to old Yanari? No, it's not even close. So Valerie, if you have a win percentage that's plus or minus 5% from the median of 50%, it's totally fine. That's balance. But Yanari were up towards 70% win percentage, which is bananas.
No, Yanari were insane.
Yeah, they
were
never
pants on
quite hit
head.
70%. They did hit 70% at a few events, but their average is like 63%. The really bad one was the Castellan list by itself.
Yeah.
So just guard plus House Raven Castellan was up to
Plus
a 70.
Blood Angels.
Yeah, maybe plus Blood Angels, but usually the guard plus Castellan list was like easily around a 70% win percentage consistently, not just in 1 month or a couple events, which was
For a
obviously
long
really
time,
bad. Yeah, for a really long time.
It was the most powerful army we've seen in 8th edition by far.
Yanari was.
Well,
insane.
I guess maybe the Storm Raven list at the beginning of that edition was even worse, but we didn't have.
That was only half a summer.
We didn't have enough data collecting ability back then. Now, like the most powerful army we've seen has been the Castellan.
You think the Castellan was more powerful than Yanari?
Well, the data indicates that they were, yes.
So not the Castellan by itself, specifically
Imperial
the
suit.
Castellan list. That list, the guard battalion or guard brigade, Catachan usually with the House Raven Castellan, and maybe Blood Angels, maybe Custodes by captains, but just that list archetype, it was easily the highest performing list in competitive 40K, like by a lot that I've ever seen.
Well, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I'll just give you the scores here. They did just go ahead and shake it. As of right now, the Orc player did win 38-17.
Oof.
So Cody did try to claw out as many points as he could, but just couldn't do it in the end.
Brutal. Tell him to get some Tomb Blades, and then it'll be a whole different ball of wax.
Reese says, buy Tomb Blades from Line Gaming.
Duh.
Yes. But yeah, so Inari are really good, and we don't have enough data about Space Marines yet to definitively say whether they're better or worse than Inari were back in their heyday. So we don't know yet. I suspect that they won't be as good as Inari were because Inari as a faction were just so dominant, especially for so long across 2 editions. So I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see until all the supplements come out, and then we have to wait at least until the Las Vegas Open to figure out, to see exactly where Space Marines land.
But then you got to wait until Iron Hands and Imperial Fists, which are, in my opinion, the 2 most powerful. You have to wait to see how those do, because it's going to be entirely different. And Salamanders too, like that for me, Salamanders are still a question mark because, as I was saying, they can hit the hardest out of all the Space Marines by a country mile, and they're relatively durable, so they could be up there with the others. But Iron Hands especially are going to be a meta-defining army.
Yeah, and I actually think Raven Guard will have the highest win percentage of all the factions, probably because there will be so few players playing them, but the players that will be playing them will be really good. So it'll be similar to like Gene Steeler or Renegade Chaos in 7th edition roles in the past, where there were very few players that played those armies, but the players that did play them were extremely good, and knew how to play those armies and did really well. So
I agree with that assessment.
Yeah, but
So-
I mean,
we're done here. So in a minute, we're gonna get an interview with the players. But go ahead. This is a good conversation.
yeah, but I mean, if someone if someone were to tell me like look in the future and tell me that there are 4 Space Marine players in the top 8 at the LVO, like, I would not be surprised. But I wouldn't go as far as say that that's set in stone.
Well, yeah, because what you're going to see is it's going to be like 4th edition again, where everyone is going to meta for Marines, and then that will bring them down on their average win percentage, because there's still some armies. Like, I got my clock cleaned by Eldar Flyers with my White Scars at LGT. If I went first, I had a chance. Going second, I didn't really have a chance. So there's still armies that can just stick it to them, and everyone's going to start gearing up to fight Marines. And then, of course, Psychic Awakening is going to change things dramatically. And, of course, we have Chapter Approved on the way, so you can expect to see a lot of units that might be a little too expensive right now get a points reduction. So, like, things are going to change so much in the next 3-4 months. It's really going to be impossible to tell where the meta is going to be.
Would you give us a hint on which models are going to be cheaper?
Obviously, I can't say, and I know you're joking, but
yeah, I know.
I would just to say, look at units that look like they're too expensive, and I think most of us know what they are. And again, you got to remember, Chapter Approved was finished quite a while ago, so new codexes aren't going to get touched. But look at the kind of the books where there's a lot of things that don't get touched because they're too expensive. You can expect to see those, war gear items and units go down in points. And I'm not saying this is or is not going to happen, but you could imagine a unit perhaps like a Wraith Knight. That is a unit that might see a significant change, because I think universally most people that would agree that units like that are overpriced, and that's why they don't see play.
Yeah. So also, go ahead.
If I had to say what's overpriced, like, you're saying I can run like 7 or 8 knights instead of 4 or 5?
I mean, we have to wait and see, of course. Like, I can't say definitively any unit is going to, I'm not even saying the Wraith Knight's going to get touched, but I'm just saying, if I was a betting man looking at it, I would say that, yeah, it's probably a unit that's overpriced, and most people would agree to that.
Oh, no, I don't care about a Wraith Knight. I care about a real knight.
I want Obliterators.
About a what?
A real knight, Imperial Knight.
Obliterators seem like they're overpriced to me too, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in Chapter Approved.
Yeah, another thing you want to look at for the future, especially if you're planning on building something other than Space Marines, or if you're planning on maybe starting a second army, is look right now at the factions that are doing well against Space Marines, or that have the potential to do well. I'm just going to use Necrons as an example, even though we did just see them get creamed right now. Necrons 6 months ago, 8 months ago, were absolutely one of the worst factions, one of the worst armies. So it's logical that they might get some sort of points decrease or some sort of buff from GW in Chapter Approved. And they do have a good Space Marine matchup right now. They have a really good Space Marine matchup, a really good Iron Hands matchup. So if a few months from now, Necrons might be sneaky really good, or not even sneaky, might just be really, really good after Chapter Approved, because of a combination of them already having a good Space Marine matchup and getting points decreases, right? So I would look at like Necrons, AdMech, or another really good. AdMech have been slowly getting buffed over time, just by GW and just by random things being released for them. So like AdMech, Necrons, Orks maybe, but yeah.
Pablo.
They're good.
It's funny.
No, you're fine.
Did you see what Yak Hunter just said in the chat?
Yeah, they have a 73% win percentage against Space Marines right now, which is
Necrons
nuts.
Well, it's what we were saying throughout the cast. Necrons are really good against Space Marines. So, as the meta, as the environment changes, as Marines become more and more prevalent, armies like Necrons will rise up as a response to that, because they're going to be in a target-rich environment. So, the meta is going to change dramatically. It's going to be an absolute wild ride for the next 4 or 6 months.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, hey guys.
And then we don't know what. Go ahead.
We got to go to an interview with the players. I'd like to thank our Frontline Gaming folks from joining us on the Shoutcast. Make sure to buy all your whatevers from Frontline Gaming, especially Necron stuff. You heard it here first. Pablo says Necrons are good.
There you go.
Thanks for having us, guys. It was a pleasure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Later, guys.
And Cody, oh, my camera is way wrong. I can't even see you at all. Oh, because I'm on the wrong camera, that's why. 1 second. Viewers at home, we're just really bad at this.
Okay, we'll get there.
There's a lot of buttons, and still seeing that one. Both of these, oh man. Now he's got them both pointing over at, you know, Jason and then judges right now. There we go. Okay.
See us all?
Now I can see you guys.
Okay, good. Alrighty, so
hold on 1 second. For some reason, now everybody can see you. And go.
All right, so that was round 2. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Turn 1 looked like it was gonna be pretty brutal for the Orks, losing some of those smasher guns and all that, being able to do the Tesla thing or the Doom's Death Ray. I mean, we all kind of pull in the fact is like maybe you were going to be able to do something really magical, but it looked like your turn 1, you actually were able to capitalize a lot. What was your both strategies, starting with you, Cody, like turn 1, what was your major thing you had to go?
Turn 1. All the Ludas, or try to kill as many guns as possible. And kind of tried to split fire with the Doomsday Arcs.
Hold on.
Didn't work out as good.
All right, go ahead.
Didn't work out as good for me. Now the guy, I got what? I killed 4.
Yeah, I think.
But 4 with all 3 Doomsday Arcs and all 3 planes. So
Rolling
only
ones
got
for
4.
your D3 sucked.
Yeah. Like Doomsday is, but you know, if I kill, let's say, in a perfect world, I get 8. In a perfect world. And what that really, I don't really think it changes the outcome of the game as much as I would like. I may have had another plane that lasted a second turn or into the third turn, and I think that would have been pretty much about it. It's like, once the planes die, like, the guns didn't matter anymore once the planes are gone, because they didn't really do a whole lot to the Doomsday Arcs, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, honestly, I think maybe I should have went for the Ludas, really. I should have just went all in on the Ludas.
They're definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially when you're rolling 3 shots apiece,
Like
just devastating
every
things.
time.
So,
Shoot
Nick,
'em
going into
twice,
your
let's
turn
shoot 'em
1,
6 shots
what was
every
kind of
time.
like your really big thought of, oh crap, we're going to get Death Raid, and then, I mean,
Okay.
what was the strategy there?
So to beat the Necron list, you have to anticipate you going second, and you need to spread your 2 main threats, which for the Orc list is the Relic Shock Attack Gun and the Ludas, more than 6 inches apart. So if he concentrates fire on one of them, the other one is still going to be able to take out 2 planes the next turn. In the actual turn, I had one decision to make really, and that was either leave the race and go after the Immortals, or go after the Wraiths and leave the Immortals. I chose the Immortals, and I think that was the right play.
Yep.
The Ludas did their thing. The Met Guns did their thing. The Relics did their thing. I filled 1 charge, so everything I needed to go right.
One charge towards the end of the game, and it didn't really matter.
That was definitely something we were talking about, was just the gall for the long bomb charges you were trying to do. Like, it worked out pretty well. Overall, it was a great game. I'm sad to say that the Wraiths kind of flubbed over there. It looked like they only killed like 4 Ludas.
Got 4.
Did you think about maybe looking at Tomb Blades? Do you own any? Is that was something
I have Tomb Blades. I honestly, like, Tomb Blades are better for this specific matchup. I don't think they're better against anything else, really.
Right on.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think Wraiths are where a lot of it is at, especially now. You know, Space Marines are being prevalent. They're 2 damage on all their attacks, so they're killing Primaris dudes by droves. You know, I played at R2T last weekend, and the game I won was against Space Marines. But I was playing something really janky, and I had a Thraptic construct on the table, and so that was a radically different list. Everything was no box, everything was re-rolling in charge phase.
Well, thanks guys, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys have a good day and a good rest of the game.
Thank you.
Once again,
Thank you,
good
Cody.
game. All right, get mic'd off.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see everybody back at about 4:30 Central Time for round 3.